Okay, yeah, welcome back to the part 2 of the question. So right now we are going to begin with the code. So when you want to begin with the code, the first thing you have to do is you have to declare your parameters. You know, we have several parameters. If you look at this, you have b, you have y, you have z, you have s naught, a, p, t, q, n, c, u. You have a lot. So we are going to declare all of this. You know, we are going to declare them. Which one is variable, which one is an integer, which one is a single, which one is a boolean, and then stuffs like that. So let's you come here, view code. So you click on view code. So here, this is where you are going to write your code. So everything I have here, you can just just clear it. Clear this. Then we are going to declare with option explicit. Option explicit. When you declare with there's no problem if you write everything in capital though. I'm just trying to. So option explicit. When you declare with option explicit, whatever you declare in option explicit, you won't need to be declaring it in every subprogram you write. Every subprogram, every function you write, you won't need to be declaring it anymore. So you can just go ahead and declare everything in option explicit, and that will be okay. So there is something we call a a description. You know, a description is an unexecutable program. It will not execute. So the purpose of the description is just for you to make it easy for someone who wants to read your code. So if I write a code and you can't really interpret it, it is simply because I did not put a description for you. But if I write a description at the top, whosoever is reading it will know, okay, this is what we are doing. So under option explicit, I want to put a description. But if you want to put a description, make sure this single line is there. I mean the single quotation. So you just write here we want to declare all our variables. Okay, so that's good enough. You can see you have it in green color. That is telling you that it is not executable. It will not execute it with your program. It's just for reading sake. Okay, so now let's start declaring. When you want to declare, you declare with dim. So declare, what do you want to declare? Come here. You can see this first one, that's for your view code. This one is for view objects, that is to view what you have there. So this is all we want to declare. So we want to declare b is y, z, and all of that. So okay, so we declare b as what? B is a single. We declare b is a single. No, declare b as single. Also we have I think byz, byz, y as single, z as single, and then which other one? S not ap. Okay, so S not as single, A as single, P as single, TQN. So dim, don't forget to put the dim here. You know, if I'm still on the same line, I can ignore the dim. Whenever you have one dim at the front, it will just take care of the rest. But when you jump to another line, you have to put the dim to continue, because when you jump to another line, it means you want to put another program. You understand? So for you have to break the program with something. The comma there is telling you, okay, you are still continuing. You understand? So dim P, I think I still have Q, and then after P I have TQN. Okay, so T as single, N as single. What about R? R as single. I think CU as single. Which other one? About T? Okay, T is there already. Okay, then I have SI. Yeah, SI. Now SI is a boolean. SI is a boolean. You know, over here I have English. I have international. You know, English, that is ES. something English, something like imperial, imperial. So you can write imperial as boolean. You can write English as boolean. International, but instead of writing international, I just want to write SI. International, SI, that is standard international. So I just want to write SI to represent the international instead of the long word international. So SI is a boolean. The meaning of boolean is that it can either be yes or no. It can be false or true. So it is either I'm selecting the SI or I'm selecting the imperial. That is, it is either I'm selecting the metric or the imperial. So it is one of two. So that is a boolean. So you won't declare that as a single. Okay, so I think we are done with that. So let's come to our code and one by one. So you click on this. So all the command there you have, click on the command, just double click. Look at this command, double click. So when you double click on it, it will take you here automatically. So let's write what we have there. Which command did I click on? That is English. So let me put a description. Let me see. Here we want to activate the imperial units. It means what I want to use here is what? Imperial unit. So I will say, okay, for that reason, SI equals what? SI will be false now. How is that so? You know what I declared here is SI. SI is a boolean. That is SI or ES. ES English. ES is English. What I mean by ES, I mean English. SI international. So I declared SI as boolean. That is, it can be false or yes. It can be true or false. So now I want to activate English. That is, I am not using SI. I want to use English. I want to use ES. I am not using SI. So it means SI will be false because I'm not using it. That's what I'm saying. SI equals to false. Okay. So that means, okay, if I pick SI, if I pick SI, sorry, if I pick ES, which is English, I want something to appear here. All right. So you write what you want to appear here. So you just say, okay, txt selected dot text, right? Will now be equals to what? What will appear there? That should be ES. That is what I want to appear there. That is, whenever I click on that English, what I want to appear is what? ES. Let's see what I'm saying now. Let's try to run the program. So run the program. Now let's click English. Do you see it here? You are seeing ES. So it means whenever you click on English, you'll be seeing ES here. That is what I just did there. You know the name of this text box is what? TXT selected. That's the name of the text box. Then the text that will now be inside that text box will now become TXT selected dot text. I think you get that. The name of the text box is TXT selected. That's what we use to name the text box when we're doing the form. Now the text that is supposed to be inside that text box, we now have a text dot text extension. So that's why this is TXT selected dot text equals to ES. So that's what we have there. Let's run the program again and then click on international. When I click on international, what happened? Nothing. That's because I've not activated anything for international. But when you click on English, you see ES. That's because you've done something on English. Okay, so let's go and do for international as well. So just leave that and then come back to your view object, double click on international. You can see it will create another form for you. So this is the name of the function, command international, subclick, whatever. Okay, good. So let me just copy whatever here. There are, let me Control C, then Control V. Because they are the same. It is an option. It is a boolean function. So here, I would say here we want to activate the metric unit. You want to activate the metric unit. No, I don't want a capital letter. I want to activate the metric unit. So SI will now be what? SI will now be true. And then what I have to see inside that selected box will now be what? SI. I don't want to see ES. I want to see SI. Okay. Good. Now let's run it and see. Now let me click on international. Compile. Error, variable not defined. Which variable is not defined? Oh, sorry. What you have here is truth. You can see that is a syntax error. So that's why it is bringing that error. Truth. So close that and then rerun. Okay. So international. You can see now you have SI. Now you have SI. You can see when you click English, you have ES. When you click international, you have SI. So here I can be able to select whichever unit I want. So this program will be able to work with anything you want to work with, be it ES or SI. There's something I've omitted. This CU, that is coefficient or unit coefficient. It depends on the unit you are using. So if I'm using ES, my CU, I think my CU should be equals to 1.486. We can always confirm that. Then for metric, my CU equals to 1. It's just like when you are working with, what's it called? When you are working with metric, your G will be equals to 9.81 meter per seconds. Then when you are working with imperial, you don't expect it to be the same thing. When you're working with metric, you can have 9 meter. Then when you're working with imperial, you'll be expecting something in foot. So when you convert that meter to foot, you will know it won't have the same value. So that is why this is 1.486 in imperial and it is now 1 in international. So that shouldn't be a confusion. So we've activated 2 buttons. So we've activated this, we've activated this. Okay, so now let's activate the end program as well. So double click the end program. So this is where it takes me, no problem. Okay, so end program, what do I want to do there? I just want to end the program. That's whenever I click on it, I want it to end. So let me just write end, and that's all. That's all. So let's run the program and see the function. So let me see end program. What did you see? What did you do? It ended the program. It just closed everything. So that's all. So you are done with the command, that command as well. So you can pick another command. Let's click the clear data. Clear data. We want to clear something. So clear data. What do we want to clear? So double click on clear. Now for clear data, this is what we are talking about. For clear data, you know, let's assume that I write something here inside this B. I write something there. I write something here. I write something here. I write something here. I write something here. You understand? Also in the research, also in the results portion here, you can also have, when you have something that you not solve, your results will appear here. Then you want to clear. Whenever you click this clear data, what do you want the clear data to do? I want you to clear everything you've written in those text boxes. So I want you to clear whatsoever is here, whatsoever is here, whatsoever is here, whatsoever is in all the text boxes, maybe including this one. So but you can leave this. Don't let me clear this. I won't clear this, but you can clear all of this. So that is what I want the clear data to do. That is this clear button. That's what I want it to do. Whatever is here, what will be the name? Don't forget, what is the name of the text box? Let's check the name of the text box. Name of the text box is what? TXTB. That's the name of the text box. Then what will now be inside that text box? That is what we want to clear. Okay, so what will now be inside that text box? We just have a dot text extension. So that means what will be inside the text box will be what? txtb.text. So we want to clear that thing. So come here. So you just say, okay, for under text, we want to say txtb.text equals, then you have this function at the top. This function you have at the top simply means that what? You want to clear whatsoever is there. That is the meaning. You want to clear whatsoever is there. So let me just copy this. Control C. Control V, another copy, because I have more that I want to do. Control V. And then one more thing you can do, instead of having it on the same line, on the horizontal, something like this, you can just have something like a semicolon, like this. A semicolon. Then you can just put tab, so that you can, just minimize your, minimize your. Then here, and put the semicolon. The semicolon has to break it. If you don't break it, when you are declaring, when I was going on the same line, I just put comma, then I continue. Do you understand? So the semicolon is telling that I want to break it, and you can go ahead. So I can have another one. How many do I want to clear, Seth? Let me see. How many do I want to clear? I want to clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I want to clear 11 text boxes. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9, 10. Eleven. So I know. So I want to clear this. You know why I'm having that red mark is because I don't have a semicolon over there. It's telling me I don't, it's not recognizing that. So txtb, so this will be txtn, right? This will be txt, which other one? Txts not, tsts not, tst z, tst y, txt q. I believe you understand all those. It is basically all of this, txtb, txtn, txts not, txtz, txty, txtq, txua, prt. So that should be txta, txtp, tstr, txt, then txtd. So these are all I want to clear. Let's see the activation. So let me hand that. Then inside this, let me put something. Let me say 12, 13, 17, 12, 90, 190. So you can see I have something now. Now let me click clear data and let me see what happened. Clear data. You can see everything here has cleared. Aha. Though I'm not seeing anything here. Why? Because I have not activated this solve. When I click on solve, I want the answer to appear here. So even when I click on solve, nothing will appear because I've not done anything on solve. So that's why this, you can't bother about this for now. But when you click on the clear data, you can see all this cleared. So that is the purpose of that function. So the next one is solve. So let's go to solve. Sorry. Let's go to solve. Double click on it. Then it will bring you here. So under the solve is kind of systematic than the rest. The rest are kind of straightforward, but solve, you still have some things here. So here you want to get some data and you want to clear some data, you can have some error. When you want to solve, one thing that you have to keep in mind is that number one, you have to select a unit. You have to select a unit, be it SI or ES. Okay, so I want to make a kind of a scenario that whenever you don't pick a unit, you will not be able to move forward. You understand? If you don't create a unit, you'll not be able to move forward. So how do we do that? Look at this. What's the name of this? Don't forget, the name is what? txt selected. That's the name of the text box. Then what will be inside would be txt selected.text, right? Now I want to give a scenario that, okay, if there is something inside this text, then the data you put here should be processed. But if you don't put anything inside this, the data should not be processed. What I mean by if you don't put anything, that is, if you don't put ES or you don't put SI, nothing should be processed, because you are not telling me, you are not telling the program which one should be used. That is, should you use SI to calculate your question or ES? So if you don't provide this, you'll not be able to solve anything. So that is the condition I want to put for that. So you say, this is the function here. You say if, no, if you are going to use the if s function, you say if txt selected dot text is less than or greater than something something. This is how you are going to represent it. Less than or greater than something something. Then call get data. That is, we want, then you can now process your data, the data you want to put. That is the value of all this bn. Then you can now process it. All right. Else If you don't do that, else I want you to see a message box. I want you to see a message box that says what? So you put that in quotation. The message box that say, kindly pick one of the two unit system. You understand? This is what I want it to bring. Then exit that sub. Then you end your if. You know, if you are using the if s command, if s, so you have to end it. Whatever you begin, you end it. Just like this private sub. When you have the private sub, you have to end that sub. So you've ended that. Okay, so that is the first condition. That is the first thing I want to happen. The second one is, what if you insert some particular parameters inside this place and they are not correct? You know, for example, for you to get a result, you have to input the value of b, n, s naught, z, and y. What if you just input b and n, s, and then you say you want to go ahead and get a solution? You know, you are supposed to get a message box that will say, oh no, you've not inserted the required number of input for you to get an output. You understand? So you have to make a kind of message box to cater for that that kind of scenario. Do you understand? So I want to use another if function. So how do I do that? So to make that, I want to do something. I will say, okay, if error, I want to that error equals to 1. That is, there's that error that I just mentioned now. I want to name it 1. So it is a function like this. So if error equals to 1, if error equals to 1, then I want you to see a message box as well. The message box, you know what I mean by error 1? Error 1 is when you input a data that is not correct, or you input a data that is not what's it called? That is not complete. You input 3 out of 5. That is what I mean by error 1. Okay, so I'm just using the error 1 to explain that error. So I want you to see a message box that will say, kindly input the correct data. No, let me just say, kindly input the correct data to get a solution. Initially I wanted to write, kindly input the correct data, else you won't get a solution. But that can be like a threat. So so let's leave that. So I think this is okay. Then okay, I want to do something. I want to call this command clear data. Command clear data. Command clear data dot click, right? Yeah, this command, where is it? Okay, this command clear data dot click. You know, this command clear data is supposed to clear all our data. You understand? So now what I'm doing now is that if you input something that is not correct or it is not complete and you have a message box, I want that after the message box, all the rubbish you've inserted, I want you to clear it. You understand? It will automatically clear it. You won't need to go there and be clearing so that you can input a correct one. So if you input something that is wrong and you click on solve, and it brings that pop-up, the message box, that, oh, you have not inputted the correct or the required number of inputs. So after that message box, I want everything you've inserted before, I want you to clear so that you can now put the real one. You know, you have to clear it before, but I don't want you to go through the stress of saying you want to be clearing them one by one. So I want you to clear automatically. That is why I'm calling this function command clear click data. You understand? So after that, you can just exit the sub, and then so you can say else it should do what? It should give you the solution of Q. So you can say it should give you the solution of Q. You know what I mean by else? That else, you know, please understand this function. This first one is a function that is number one. If you don't have a unit, sorry, if you have a unit, if text selected or text is less than or greater than something, that means it has a unit. If something is less than or is greater than, that means it has a unit. So if that's text selected, if it has a unit, then you should call the data. I want to call this function, that is, you should put your data and then go ahead. Else, this message box should pop up. That is one function, and I ended it. Another one is, okay, if you have error 1, I believe you know what error 1 is. I say this pop-up should come up. But what if you don't have error? Then you should solve your question now. All right, and what do you want to solve? Q. So that is why I'm having this. So I'm bringing a function. Q is equal to what? Q equals to, let me say, calc discharge. Then you put these two parentheses. This parenthesis is telling that it's a function. You can see I also put it here. It's a function. I also put it where? Here. That is to tell you that it is a function. So when you have something like that, it's a function. You can see it is a function. Okay. So Q equals to what? Cow, whatever. Then it will now solve this. So I'm telling you that, okay, it should solve my Q, which is my discharge. Then when it solves the Q, where should you put the value? That's another thing. Let's come here. If it solves the Q, where should the value be? The value should be here. And what is this? This is what? What's the name? The name of this will now be what? Text q.text. Text q.text. So you can just say text q.text equals what? Equals q. And then you can end the if statement as well. Then you are good to go.